everyone. We are coming to you live from Newegg Studios in Southern California. This is Newegg Now. I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, and we're here every Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can watch along on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, or on Newegg.com. But the very best place to be during the next hour is Newegg.com/NeweggNow, because that's where you can both watch along with the show and take advantage of the fantastic deals we've got in store for you this week.
So we've got a really exciting show for you today.
Yeah.
The tech world is all aflutter with news about Intel's 9th gen CPUs and all the new motherboards that are being released. Though we still haven't seen full benchmarks or had the chance to really run these CPUs through the ringer yet, there's quite a lot of info out there about these new chips and all the cool things that they can do.
Yeah, definitely. So we won't dive too deep into everything we know just yet. We've got to play a little coy because we're going to leave that to JJ from ASUS. He was in the studio earlier this week, had a really fun conversation with him on Monday, gave us a fantastic overview not only of Intel's 9th gen, but also the new Z390 boards coming from ASUS. So we'll get into the thick of it shortly and also explore some awesome new Call of Duty branded gear. I maybe even brought some things from home, just celebrating my timeline of Call of Duty swag.
I love it. I'm really excited for that.
So in a segment I like to call I Brought It From Home. But first,
I feel like we need segment graphics and like an intro package. Now, you've said it enough on the show that it should be a thing.
Big cartoon wand head. Nobody really needs that. Okay, first let's cover some of the fantastic deals we have for you here today.
Yes. So let's start things off with some smart home security tech from LaView. LaView. This is the one-peak wire-free door camera. Think of it as a super fancy peephole / doorbell hybrid. It's a great wireless solution for those who don't want to be glued to their smartphones at all times because it comes with its own rechargeable 4.3-inch display monitor.
So some of these security solutions can be tricky to install, but the One Peak is super easy. Has a built-in chime, two-way speaker, so you can communicate easily with anyone outside your door.
Very cool.
But the most exciting thing is it's all wireless. So installation should be as simple as this kind of tech gets.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a high-tech smart doorbell, it doesn't get much better than the LaView One Peak. We have a great deal on it right now. You can pick up this excellent home security solution for $60 off, so head over to the Newegg Now page to pick it up while it's still there.
Nice. And we have a couple of fantastic pre-built desktop deals you'll want to check out, including the Dell Inspiron i5680. This has an i5 8th Gen 8400 CPU, a GTX 1060 GPU for $70 off, and the Ryzen 7 1700 power Gamer Master from CyberPower PC, also with the 1060 GPU, also for $70 off. Or if you want to go Lenovo, check out the Lenovo Gaming Desktop Idea Center for, you guessed it, $70 off.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a theme.
And though we're mostly focusing on 9th gen this episode, we have to show some love to 8th gen with this great entry-level Coffee Lake CPU, the i3-8100, for less than $120 with a $10 gift card that you can then use later.
Beautiful. All right, so there's going to be plenty more to talk about, more deals later on in the show, but for now, let's dive into Intel's latest CPU launch. Like I said, we had JJ in the studio earlier this week to tell us just about everything you could want to know before all the big benchmarks are released. We don't have time to show that entire conversation between JJ and myself.
I imagine if it was you and JJ, that conversation probably went on for a while.
No, you know what's beautiful though, and why I love having JJ on is because it totally takes the pressure off and I get to be the Mike Rowe.
Yep.
You know, so the entire time we're in the middle of this conversation, I was like, I could be Harry Kim from Star Trek. You know, like technical specs and technical this and gating and electrical and then I get to come up with the dopey metaphor, like it's like overfilling a water balloon. You know, for your science fiction shows that always have to like dumb things down for the audience. JJ is so good. It's like, I'm well read on this. I don't have the pressure to explain all this stuff. This is awesome. So we took a very deep dive, and you can check out that entire 2-hour stream on Newegg Studios YouTube channel. Again, not only digging into Intel 9th gen, but some of the amazing technologies that ASUS is using to leverage the awesome toolkit that Intel is supplying their manufacturing partners. So just wait until after this show.
Right.
Finish this show, and then you can go and check out.
Yes, we're going to be talking more of that stuff on this show, so stay for that too. But honestly, it was great seeing you two chatting 9th gen and really exploring everything the new motherboards do to take advantage of the new CPUs. So let's go ahead and throw to that now and make sure that you stick around after for more deals and some killer new Black Ops 4 gear from ASUS. See you guys in just a bit.
We'll be back.
So I think the first thing is just kind of overall for us to kind of get a perspective of where things sit in the overall landscape, right? So anytime we've got a new essentially processor and then we have a new chipset, we kind of like to take perspective of where that sits in the entirety of the ecosystem, how it stacks up to the current overall CPU product stack. Is it essentially displacing anything? Is it replacing anything? And how that all works out. So I think the first thing is right now with Intel 9th gen series of processors, we're going to have 3 brand new SKUs. So we've got the 9900K, then we got the 9700K, and then we have the 9600K. There are going to be some changes in terms of how these actually parts work in terms of their cores, and they're actually turbo frequencies. This is the first time that in the mainstream segmentation, we're now bumping all the way up to a peak of 16 threads, so 8 core, 16 thread, and we're introducing 5 gigahertz true turbo base ratios on that 9900K. So we're going to be talking about that. We then also have, of course, the chipset side. So with chipset side, this is interesting because Z370 isn't going away. It is still essentially going to be staying here and is still available for you. So you'll be seeing essentially availability for Z390 series of motherboards as well as Z370 series of motherboards. And in terms of the overall interoperability and compatibility, the latest 9th generation series of processors are fully compatible actually with the previous Z370 series. All you'll need to do is essentially go over to the support website, take for instance at asussupport.asus.com, or use the integrated Easy Flash option, download the latest UEFI, and that will flash the board and allow it to be essentially interoperable and compatible with these new CPUs. Now, there will be some specific benefits in terms of how we've designed the motherboards, I think to best complement the latest generation of 9th gen processors if you adopt a Z390 series motherboard along with the 9th gen series of CPU. But if you're just kind of wondering how this kind of plays out, those 9th gen series CPUs can work with the previous generation as long as you've got that update. But like I said, there will be some special kind of optimizations there. For this platform, the part is so impressive that of course this can fit into a lot of different users, right? So we've got everybody from content creators, advanced productivity, science and simulation, to of course gamers, multitaskers, streamer gamers, right? All these different premises. And so at ASUS, that's really our kind of goal, is to be able to find kind of those different options that exist in the marketplace as far as user scenarios and saying, okay, how can we design and develop SKUs that are really tailored for these specific users. So for this generation, we've got quite a number of series. So if we kind of go wide here, you won't be able to see them all here, so we're going to pull a couple into the frame here and give you guys some perspective. So first up, and this is just to kind of give you guys some context. We're not going to go into all the boards yet and their SKUs and the features and everything, just letting you know the series that we have. So first we have our Prime series. So the Prime series is really, I would say, kind of like a jack of all trades, and normally you'd say the master of none, but it's really actually outstanding at everything. It's really kind of the quintessential ASUS board in terms of really being, it has a great overclocking experience, it's stable, it's reliable, it's got a clean, stylized aesthetic. Its feature set and software set has really been kind of designed to be able to balance across not only for gamers, but content creators and everybody kind of in between. So if you really don't know which board to pick, you can't go wrong with the Prime. It's an outstanding foundation. And also for those that just love that white aesthetic, it's a beautiful board with the white stylized aesthetic. And we'll get more into, its kind of unique attributes there. But that's our Z390-A series. Next here, we'll take a look at this guy. And this is probably, I'd say, along with the Dash A, probably by volume, our most popular SKU. And this is going to be the Strix. So the Strix series is going to be in our mid-range category for our gaming series of motherboards. They feature features and functions that are kind of derived from our flagship ROG series. They're part of the ROG family, but they're not our formal ROG branded motherboards. So it's ROG Strix. And these boards are really designed for users that kind of want to hit that sweet spot in terms of gaming. They want all the kind of key spec, they want stylized features and functions, they want improvements in audio and networking, they want good overclocking, but they don't want necessarily maybe to have more specialized niche, either aesthetic or specialized designs for like custom water cooling or modding or many other things that might get into more kind of specific higher end or niche type kind of category, or maybe just when you go into ROG, sometimes it's just about pushing the envelope in terms of design, innovation, performance. So these are really a great foundation. These boards, we actually have two. There's an ATX board here, and this is the Z390-E, and then we also have the Dash-I, which is the mini ITX version.
Far and away, Strix is already in the live chat with some of the questions they've been feeding us. People are asking about Strix.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, people are curious about that.
Actually, below the Strix, and still fairly new because we really only introduced it in the last generation, is now Tough Gaming. So some users that might be familiar with ASUS knew that we used to offer a Tough line.
Right.
And we had actually a branded series
We got
of boards
to talk about
underneath
it,
that.
I think that first time that you dropped by,
Yep,
we were talking about Tough. That's right.
And so Tough Gaming is really our kind of focus at being able to offer an ASUS design board that still has ASUS design quality, but then be able to offer something that's at a more aggressive price point. So these sit underneath the Strix series, but you can still see they've got a great stylized gamer aesthetic. They're still, of course, going to feature a huge amount of ASUS technologies that help to improve the reliability, interoperability. But we've also done a lot of things to be able to help to offer, I think, a really solid and stable, reliable first-time option. So we do a lot of extensive validation that while this board might not have maybe some of the higher-end elements that you're going to get on the higher-end boards, you're still going to get a really solid, stable board. And we've also worked very carefully with ecosystem partners.
Yeah.
As being kind of like a first-time board, maybe you want to pair this up with a chassis, a cooler, different types of components that will perfectly work together, right? As you get a more advanced user, you don't necessarily look at the sea of all the hardware as a negative. You get excited by it. But
Exactly.
sometimes as a first-time user,
It's intimidating.
it can be like, I don't know which is maybe the right thing to get. And so here we have our Tough Gaming Alliance, so that if I go and I look, oh, this is a Tough Gaming Alliance chassis, cooler, power supply fans, I know that they all work together.
Well, and that is one of those conversations that I've had with people interested in PC building is they want to build a PC. You need to kind of build your first PC before you know what kind of PC you want to build.
Yep.
So it's nice to kind of be able to get your feet wet. All right, which one are we going to next?
Actually,
we can go WS.
we can go WS.
This is my baby.
Yeah. And so WS is a series that doesn't actually get, I think, as much recognition as it should. But it's actually a huge segment for us. ASUS is really proud to actually offer a full division in our company that's dedicated to professional server and workstation-based platforms. This actually comes from that segment of our team. So this board, it's got a much more, I'd say, it's not a gamer stylized aesthetic, it's a no-nonsense aesthetic. This is about performance, clean lines, and really about giving you a huge amount of robust connectivity, right? So like even we can compare to these other boards, we'll get into the spec when we actually start talking about these boards, but you can tell this board has dual U.2 on there, right? Why? Because somebody in the professional space might actually be going and getting two Optane 905P drives
Right.
and putting this on this, right? So you can just see it's a different class, but WS boards also, you can physically feel it when you feel this board, the heft and weight of it, is they go through an extensive level of validation and interoperability testing for things like complex RAID controller cards, compute cards, right? High performance capture cards, probably on this motherboard, nobody's probably dropping in a $600 RAID controller or a quad gigabit Ethernet card or maybe a $500 4K multi-input capture card, right? Sometimes those cards have complex logic and they might not work correctly when you interface them into certain boards. You can run into sometimes these teething pains. And so with a WS board, we actually have a whole team that go through a really extensive validation process to check a lot more of these specialized components. Because the people that are usually building on WS, it's not just a hobby. You're doing it maybe as a profession, right? And it might be part of your livelihood or it might be part of your work focus. They make an outstanding choice for streamers and gamers as well, or anybody's just looking for an awesome, clean build. But we really have purpose-built these boards, to pair up perfectly with these highest performing CPU parts for those professionals that want to get into serious content creation.
I won't hang on that for too long, but I thought it was really funny when we were talking about like the different styles and aesthetics.
Yeah.
That even just several years ago, a workstation board very rarely had aesthetic considerations.
For sure.
Like it's okay if your workstation board looks good.
Yeah, I
too,
think we really benchmarked that. When we started first, we shifted and we started making our WS boards with like a branded color aesthetic. We had a lot of those kind of content creators come back to us and actually they were really excited by it. They were happy to see something that was clean and polished and well designed.
Yes.
Because they came from that same type of background. And they appreciated that there was a distinct stylized difference compared to something that might have been branded as a gaming piece.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they appreciated all the hardware ingenuity and the innovation and performance that went into those products, but they're like, I don't want it to look that way. I just want something that's clean and professional.
Totally.
Right? But moving into, I think, this whole nother strata is ROG.
You want me to grab this guy first?
Yeah, so I think either one, because we're just using this as a spotlight to be able to kind of talk about ROG. So here, lastly, when we get into our series, is our ROG. So this is formal ROG. ROG is really the de facto gaming brand in the PC industry, and it's now over 10 years old, over a decade. And it really is about the benchmark. If you're looking for premium in terms of components, quality, performance, innovation, aesthetics, ROG is going to check that box. I think when you look at the board, it's absolutely beautiful, but you can tell that it's just been built for performance, but built to equally look amazing.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to
I'm even just having
into.
fun catching the light in our studio.
And so, if we pull quickly the formula just to kind of show you over there, you can just see, kind of the evolution of the overall aesthetic. But hopefully this kind of gives you a perspective. We're going to now dive into actually some of the specific board level features here. We'll maybe quickly see if you guys have a question on these series as a whole.
Already got fingerprints on it.
Yeah, but you can tell this board is just in a whole nother class. I mean, just this is actually featuring the same metal Iridium finish technology that we pioneered and innovated on our Rampage Extreme series motherboard, where actually we fuse the Iridium into the metal, which allows for a translucent refraction so that when the lighting actually goes onto this board, it actually literally seems like it's part of the metal, and it translutes like it's underneath the armor. It's absolutely just breathtaking. And even by itself, though, this is the cool thing, is that our ID team, when you look at that board by itself, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It just looks amazing.
even
And
just-
if you're not an RGB fan, it'll look amazing.
It'll still look
by-
really cool.
It'll look amazing by itself. But if you want to have that next level experience by taking the lighting into it, you can totally do it. So
But it's even just down to the little design considerations as to like what you're doing on the rear panel too,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
just phenomenal.
yeah, and this is where you can easily see that when you take a look at a board like this, these boards are really purpose built for the users that just demand the best.
Yeah.
Right. So recapping, Prime series, the ROG Strix series, the Tough Gaming series, the WS series, and our ROG series. So we have 5 different series of these series of motherboards for you guys that if you're interested in building a Z390 based system, interested in being able to take any one of those latest 9th Gen series parts and be able to have an amazing box for whatever purpose, there's a board that's right for you. Moving a little bit on from Z390, let's quickly just
Yeah, because we've been
touch
teasing
on
it.
here.
We got to mention it. We got to
Let's
talk
touch
about it.
on other 2 really big updates as we're getting ready to close out our stream here. And thank you for all of you that have
Yeah.
joined into the stream and checked this out. But Intel also made formal announcements today for the latest generation of X series processors. So for those of you who are not familiar on the X series side, that's X299, and that's HDET. So this is the high-end desktop. So this is now pretty crazy. You're going from the entry level being your 8 cores all the way up to 18 cores, right? And 36 threads, right? So absolutely just monster platform, same level of PCI Express things as that we had before. And of course, you now have quad channel support up to 2666 in terms of the overall frequency. Of course, the big stunner, I think, for a lot of people is going to be that the 9980XE, right? So 18 cores, 36 threads, overclockable, with, of course, also now supporting Turbo Boost 3.0, which allows for really, really impressive single core peak frequency. Some really cool, interesting stuff. We actually did a whole stream on Turbo 3.0 technology. So you guys can actually check that out by searching the Newegg Now live streams if you guys want to find out more about Intel Turbo 3.0 technology. Some really, really cool stuff there. So there's 7 overall processors. I think one of the really cool things that also Intel did for these X series parts is that even going down to the entry level, there's no more kind of weird split between the PCIe lanes, where some of the entry level models had like lower PCI Express lanes.
Yeah.
Still more than Z series chipsets, but it wasn't as much as the higher end. But now they're maintaining it to be contiguous.
Well,
so
just like we saw
everything.
that improvement in the Z series moving us up a notch, it seems like the bottom end of the X299 also faced that same, or also encountered that same kind of improvement across the entire line of products.
Yep. So cool part there is, like I said, just being able to really, it's pretty crazy to me that you can build essentially an Intel platform that is giving the ability to go from 8 cores all the way up to 18 cores on the same exact platform. So
Yeah.
really for somebody that maybe wants to start off, maybe they're a content creator, gamer, streamer, they're kind of want really, really great performance, and they make an investment in the system, but maybe 2 years later they want to be able to jump up to significantly more performance.
Again, I mean, like you build
know?
the system, you don't know where that's going to go
Right.
over the life of that system.
Right,
So,
and here even now with Z390, you could argue you have a very similar level of flexibility.
Yeah.
That even the top end part, that 9900K, 8 cores, 16 threads, right? But you know, you go into X299 and you go into a whole nother ballpark. For ASUS, I can tell you that we will have some upcoming refreshes, including already a confirmed X299 Deluxe version 2. So we will have that board coming out to the market in the not too distant future, so stay tuned for that. It's a beautiful looking board, and maybe there might be something on the ROG side of the fence, I'm not sure.
perhaps.
But beyond that, though, Intel, I think, dropped something that nobody was expecting, and this is something that's even apart from X299. And this is going to be a Xeon-based platform with the Xeon W3175X. ASUS is very lucky to be a key partner collaborating with Intel in the design and development for this platform, and offering one of the actual boards that will be suited for this platform in the ROG Dominus. So this is going to be for a 28 core, absolute monster that supports overclocking. So historically, Xeons have never allowed for overclocking, but they will. So now what I'm going to show you are some images of this board, and just be prepared to be blown away because it's absolutely amazing.
You got to check this out because it sounds like the
Amazing.
evil dinosaur from the new Jurassic Park films, because it kind of is.
So let's go ahead and cut over here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw it to the slide.
and show you guys right here. So this is
Huge.
the ROG Dominus 6-channel memory, U.2, a specialized extended form factor, an absolutely monster, specially designed custom VRM assembly, which is designed to be able to handle the absolute level of cores and threads for this system. If you are looking to build the absolute biggest, baddest monster of a system, you're going to want to take a look here at the Dominus. The Dominus is just an absolute insane system with tons of connectivity, entirely specialized, and of course, many of all the key technologies and features and designs that we've talked about today are going to be baked into this board. So not only are you going to get the amazingness that's going to be on that platform, but you're also going to get this. So I'm going to tease you guys with a couple of other little shots here, a little low-profile shot. You can see here. I think it just looks beautiful. One thing that you might not notice here is that this shroud will actually be built from aluminum. It won't even be featuring plastic. So this is going to be a whole nother class in terms of kind of a premium design. Here you can see all those DIMM slots and dual DIMM.2. So you see right here, that's that DIMM.2 slot. This board doesn't have one DIMM.2.
It has two.
It has dual DIMM.2.
So how
plus
many?
Additional M.2. I'm not going to tell you all the specs because we're not talking about all the specs, but I'm going to tell you right now that at a minimum that means at least four M.2.
Right, yeah.
Because you got dual DIMM.2
at a minimum
on this board.
But maybe
there you can
else too.
see the other DIMM.2 on the other side of the board, the advanced fan groupings that are on this board. And then I'll just leave you with that beautiful shot of just.
Oh, that's pretty.
Just a lot of wonderful.
That's a lot of RAM
on that board. So
that makes me happy.
this platform is going to be an absolutely insane platform. There are also some new technologies that are absolutely game-changing. Intel's introducing AVX 512 instruction sets. We're only starting to see now some of the higher-end AVX instruction sets in 256, but AVX, keep in mind, because of its improved encoding efficiency, can offer exponential increases in performance. So as we're getting applications that are now starting to leverage these current instruction sets, I can't even imagine that if we get an application that's 512 AVX instruction set with that level of threads, right, and then the level of memory channel performance, this is just like, it's just gobs and gobs of power, it's like Masters of the Universe or something
Totally.
like that.
Well, and that arms race and taking a Xenon-based part into an enthusiast sector.
Yeah.
I think this is something, like, especially from my perspective, is something I've always kind of wanted to see Intel make a move this aggressive with the technologies that they have in different channels. And welcome back to the present, everyone. I really should have worn the same shirt.
I know, right?
just could have,
I
like,
thought
popped in
that
and
when we
out.
first tossed to that video,
Seamless.
but that's okay. We need to
okay.
delineate past from present somehow. So shirt colors it is. But it does look like it was a super fun conversation.
Yeah, it was
so,
great. It was really insightful.
Juan, quick thoughts on
Yes.
9th gen?
Well, first of all, the 9900K, definitely an interesting price performance battle point against the competition.
Yeah.
Some of the other products that we've talked about on the show before too. But I love seeing, and again, like Intel is one of those giant umbrella companies that does this really well. I love seeing this maturation of all of the supporting technologies catching up to this platform shift too. When we were
Yes.
talking about Thunderbolt 3, we were talking about GPUs, like everything coming together to make this, I think, a more impressive transition than what we've seen from some of the previous TikTok
Yeah.
updates on different platforms. So that kind of stuff, super exciting. And then again, having a JJ, it was part of the conversation too, where he was getting really excited about the lower end part, the lower end, the 9600K.
Yeah.
That if you're really into overclocking and you're trying to get those top scores, that might be the sleeper hit.
Yeah.
As opposed to the more expensive packages. Again, like there's some really interesting things happening in this space right now that are going to be really fun to watch play out through the end of the year.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
a very cool time to be DIYing your own PC.
And
right now.
anything on the horizon for you? I mean, your system's still going strong, but I know
You
you've been
see-
running into some walls with
You s-
streaming new games.
You
so.
say that, that my, oh yeah, your system's real good. It's real high end. Let me just tell you, yesterday I had to end the stream because all of my USB devices just stopped working at the exact same time. And I'm
Full
like, please
bork,
don't
huh?
let that hub be fried. Please don't. So, you know, I'm reinstalling drivers and doing a little bit of troubleshooting.
Are we going to
at
be
home.
wrapping in? Do we have a Trisha Juan rebuild PC strategy
we might.
soon?
Yeah, we might.
Are you gonna
I
join
might
me
be.
in
I
this?
wasn't wanting to be in that boat right now, but I might be in that boat right now. Yeah.
Misery loves company.
Live on the stream.
Right.
Webcam, mic, keyboard, mouse, all go down at the same time. So I couldn't actually end the stream
Right.
because I didn't have anything to. So I just had to hold in that power button.
It's like the end of The Sopranos.
Yeah, it was real sad. It is like the end of The Sopranos. Oh my God, you're hilarious.
All right, before we jump back into all of the sweet Call of Duty gear we have to show you, we do want to talk a few more quick deals. We've got some deals from ASUS that we definitely need to point out on that Newegg Now page.
Yes, so let's go ahead and start off with the ASUS ROG Strix Hero Edition, an excellent gaming laptop with a GTX 1050 Ti and an i5 8300H CPU, all in a very slick portable package. You can pick up that gaming laptop for under $900, which is a killer deal.
And if you're looking for a Z370 build, we've got you covered there with the ASUS TUF Z370. You heard JJ talking about this durable line, and this is a great example of what ASUS can offer even for current gen CPUs. So you can pick up one of these for under $110 right now.
And if it's an AMD upgrade that you're after, we've got the ASUS ROG Crosshair 6 Hero AM4 socket board for $50 off. Perfect for your Ryzen 7 build.
Nice. So last up, check out the unlocked ASUS ZenFone 3 Deluxe. Yeah, you're looking for a great Android handset? I mean, while you guys were watching the interview, Trisha and I were doing a selfie comparison on 3 different phones.
Yeah.
We couldn't get the ZenFone into the mix, but maybe we should.
Maybe we should.
Because you can pick one up for $40 off right now.
Yes. Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and get into the game. For the, I don't know, 4 or 5 of you who don't know about Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it's the newest entry in the long-running, immensely popular first-person shooter franchise. It's doing a few new things, like axing the single-player campaign and most famously implementing a battle royale mode called Blackout. Oh, and it's also coming out tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick look at that. Since
Yeah.
it's tomorrow.
Well, we'll take a look at the trailer. So this is the
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4 trailer, and then we'll be right back with JJ.
Boom.
You give us the fire, we'll give them hell.
Approaching the drop zone.
Let's tango!
Okay, so for anyone who's been watching our stream, if you can hear that it just got a little bit quieter, it's because JJ's here and he fixed my PC because I was running it at max speed.
You know.
It's amazing when our guests, we just make them do our tech support for us.
Well, we invite the experts here
Yes.
for a reason.
Yes, we do.
But in addition to talking about tech, JJ is also here to talk to us today about Ops IV, as it's lovingly called. You just saw the trailer, along with ASUS's partnership with Activision in producing this branded hardware. So let's go ahead and welcome JJ from ASUS. Welcome, JJ.
Welcome
Thanks
back,
for
JJ.
having me. Yeah, long time no see, right?
It's been like tens and tens of hours since we last conversed. We're happy to make this a second home for you.
Oh no, it's always fantastic to be here. Always fantastic to be on the stream. Thank you guys for joining us. I mean, and we're really excited about this. I mean, you know me. I'm a passionate PC DIY enthusiast, passionate PC DIY gamer, and this has really been, I think, an exciting collaboration project between ASUS and ROG to be able to work with Activision for such a premier title and really be able to kind of bring, I think, a cool flair to so many of the awesome pieces of hardware that we're going to be able to offer, so that enthusiasts that are looking to kind of be able to see the latest and greatest in terms of PC hardware, while at the same time being able to get kind of some of that branding identity for an amazing franchise like Black Ops. It's been really cool.
So before we dive into that hardware, just from your own gaming perspective, what are your thoughts on where Call of Duty is going?
I think it's been really interesting. There's been a continual, I think, evolution in terms of kind of the gameplay mechanics, the scaling, the class structure. I think specifically for this generation, I'm most interested because in previous generations, I really liked zombies. So I think actually some of the stuff that they've done, I think for this generation where you've got, you've got 9, you've got, of course, Classified, you've got Voyage of Despair, right? There are some really interesting maps. I like the kind of the specialized armament weapon strategy. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that's going to really be interesting there. I like the mutations concept that they have in play, which I think will kind of allow you to have more progressive, continued kind of interest and excitement in being able to jump into the game. Definitely because of my work schedule, it's hard to be able to be, I think, hopefully as competitive as I'd like to be in something like Blackout. But I think it's going to be really cool, really fun for a lot of people that are going to be enjoying, 80 people on a map, right? And in that type of scenario. So I give them a lot of credit, and definitely I think the amount of content that we're at least seeing initially for launch shows that there's a commitment to have this be, I think, an exciting and interesting game.
I have a question for you. Have you gotten into the Zombies comics at all?
No, I haven't.
Check them out. That's for me. I'm not a huge first-person shooter gamer, but I really like the lore that Call of Duty has around zombies.
Yeah, as far as fleshing things out.
Yeah, it's really
very
nice.
cool.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, pun achieved.
Right.
Pun achieved.
Right.
All right, so let's start talking about this partnership. ASUS, Call of Duty Black Ops IV. How did this come about? Because I mean, obviously there are so many good overlap Venn diagram ideas at play there. But what can you tell us about sitting down? You've got Activision on one side, ASUS on the other, and you come up with products together.
I think it was really just kind of the opportunity of seeing that there was a lot of course rumors behind what was going to happen with that next generation of Activision and the Black Ops franchise. And I think that for ROG, we're now more than a decade old. We really kind of, I think, come to define kind of the top bar expectation of what PC enthusiast hardware is. Not just across our core componentry, but what we're offering, within, let's say, a wide range of our products, whether it's networking, whether it's monitors, whether it's pre-built systems, whether it's our gaming laptops. And so I think that we saw kind of an opportunity to say, hey, this is really actually the premier, it's the biggest first-person shooter franchise globally, right? And how can we essentially work with an amazing brand, right, with an amazing portfolio, to be able to say, let's be able to give gamers essentially what they're asking for. I think some amazing hardware that really allows them to have not only a great experience, but have edges in that gaming experience, but at the same time be able to have something that, they have that connection with from being somebody that's played, for years and years, the Black Ops, right? So from that, there was a lot of work in terms of the scope of this. I don't know that I've ever seen any company have the level of co-branded execution that we have for this generation in terms of what we're doing. We literally have, everything from motherboards, graphics cards, routers, monitors, peripherals, right? Gaming desktops, laptops, they're all falling under this banner. So I think that whatever type of gamer you are, there's really going to probably be a product within this this portfolio that you'll be able to find and hopefully have interest in and get you excited not only about the game, but about the hardware that's going to be able to be something you're going to be able to use while gaming.
And so from ASUS's perspective, because I feel like ASUS is one of the companies that was very early in the discussion of different types of solutions for different types of gaming.
Right.
Like, you've been on the show and had very frank conversations about, like, if you're into MOBAs, you don't necessarily need this kind of hardware,
Yep.
but you should be focused on maximizing your dollar over here.
Yep.
I have to believe that there was consideration on that. When we start getting into some of this, you know, it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
It relies on that twitch moment to moment.
For sure.
And we've got ASUS branding on keyboards and mice.
Yep.
That had to be a part of the consideration for ASUS.
Oh, yeah, most definitively. I mean, I think that with a first-person shooter, you generally see usually the highest demands placed on a system when you talk about a PC gaming system, and there tends to be more nuance in terms of the subtlety of the different types of designs and technologies that gamers are looking for. This might be improved audio on, let's say, motherboard designs. It might be more specialized controls that might be featured within keyboards and mice. One might be looking for the highest level of refresh rate and low response time on monitors. Even in networking, when we were talking about our Z390 motherboards, we have new features where now the motherboard will talk to our router, and if you're getting these two and pairing them together, it'll automatically essentially have the router prioritize that device so that it gets the best performance. So if you care about making sure that you're getting that lowest latency, the best ping, and the overall best connected online experience, you're going to be able to do that, right?
Yeah, that's such an important message to communicate to the consumer, because I feel like a lot of people will see, oh, okay, a partnership. I see that there's some orange RGB.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, cool. So it's themed visually around it. But no, this is actually an entire system, an entire ecosystem that's really meant to optimize your gameplay.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why Activision decided to really work with us is because, this wasn't just an exercise at putting on branding onto a product, but really feeling confident that ASUS and its ROG team was really going to be able to provide, a top shelf experience. So I think with that, let's highlight actually some of these specific
definitely.
products. So I think first and foremost, this being, of course, a PC shooter game, you're going to, of course, go right and first foremost to the peripherals. So you're actually using them right there. We've got, first up is going to be the ROG Strix Flare. So this is actually our latest RGB mechanical keyboard. It's got a really clean, I think, stylized design. Of course, it's got RGB lighting. You can see on the sides. It's got some really nice underglow halo lighting. Of course, we've got everything primed kind of with that COD orange right now that is really kind of the themed color. But of course, that's fully customizable. You see in this version, it comes, of course,
hit the lights
with
too.
the insert.
Yeah, there we go.
I love that.
So you see you got the Black Ops 4 logo right there. And you also do get a secondary insert. So if you want to customize it yourself, you can do that.
Oh, cool.
It has integrated profile support. It's got a nice knob wheel so that if you want to go ahead and make quick adjustments to volume, USB pass-through, and of course, cherry switches. And for gamers that are really looking for the most response, we will now be coming out with variants for Speed Silvers. So if you haven't used Speed Silvers, I mean, just the responsiveness of them are just absolutely insane. They're super quick. There's no bump, which actually I prefer personally for me, but we will have multiple key switches. Moving over to the mouse side of the fence, of course, when you're talking about first-person shooter, you need a serious mouse. This is our Gladius 2. This is our latest generation high-performance FPX-centric mouse. It's designed predominantly for palm, claw, and fingertip grips. Some really cool stuff. It's got a super high-performance 3360 optical sensor, no acceleration. You can go from as little as 100 DPI, 1200 DPI, 2 side profile buttons. Of course, your quick DPI adjustment. You got 3 zones of lighting that are on there, which I think really look really clean. One thing, actually, I don't know if you'll be able to show them easily, but the mouse is also detachable. So if you're kind of like a portable gamer and you want to be able to throw this in your bag easily, maybe also be able to use it with your laptop, the cool part is there's a little switch underneath. If you essentially push down on the little switch,
the little lock switch.
you can pull out
And
that
you can
cable.
pop that right out.
Exactly, and so you
Wow.
can pull out that cable. That also is really nice because from a wear perspective,
You're
it's
not
been,
putting extra wear on the boot. Yeah.
Exactly. You can see that we also have 2 independent switch zones for the left and the right side of the mouse. And that's really important. Like actually, I've got the non-Black Ops version of it right here. But the reason why you essentially want to do that is that when you're kind of like really in the heat of jumping into different maps, you're switching to different things, you don't essentially want the force pressure of where you're pressing maybe on one side to influence the other side. So you essentially get these weird false depressions. So fully isolating both of those is really key. The other really kind of hallmark, I would say, to RG mice that not a lot of people are aware of is that we actually have the ability to swap out the Amaron switches. So similar to kind of have different switches on a keyboard, you can actually pop this off and put in different switches that change the actual actuation force and pressure. So if you're somebody that maybe you got a lighter touch and you feel that it's actually a little bit too hard for you to click consistently, you could change it. If you're the opposite side, maybe you've got like really big hands and you find that your touch is actually too heavy and you want something that has a bit more resistance, you can do that. So we've really tried to spend a huge amount of time not only giving you a really high performance product, but also something that has a high degree of customization, because that's critical for gamers.
Do you happen to offer an ambidextrous or left-handed version?
Yeah, so we don't have right now a branded version, a COD version, but we do offer a Strix Evolve as well as our Pugio. Those are awesome mice, and they can actually check out overviews that we did here on the Newegg YouTube channel if you guys want to find out about those.
Just jumping right in there with the
awesome gaming mice.
Get that.
Stepping beyond, I think that we also have a really cool branded Strix Edge gaming surface, and so that's right there. It looks really clean, really cool. It's got a non-slip base. It's huge. I think it's about like 17 by 15 inches or something like that.
It's big.
So it's really nice to just be able to give you a large amount of movement flexibility. It's stitched edges all the way around so that you really don't have to worry about fraying. That tends to be kind of one of the complaint points that a lot of people have over time.
Mine's fraying out pretty bad. Yeah.
So, you combine those two together. Of course, all our ROG Armory software has been designed to be calibrated too. So if you put the mice on these surfaces, they're already kind of programmed to be optimally paired together so that you get a really smooth, clean experience.
Nice.
Moving beyond that, I think let's talk about the motherboard, which we actually have in the system
totally,
over here.
yeah.
So
this build.
here, I think first we can actually show you guys a photo before we actually take out the system. You guys can see the system, but always when you got a pre-built system, we've got a picture of this. This is our Maximus 11 Hero. I've got the box right here for this
Yeah,
board.
we can throw to my PC. Oh, there it goes.
Great.
So you can see it follows the design cues of our current generation Z390 boards. Absolutely beautiful. It's got a really clean monochromatic look and scheme. But you've got two RGB lighting zones that, of course, have the Blackouts logos on there. Just looks awesome. And, of course, if we move back over to our system right here, this is powered by that board. It absolutely looks awesome. You can see it's just got this really cool, clean RGB vibe to it, where once again, we set it to the Black Ops Orange. This box will come with a whole bunch of really cool swag in there. You get some stickers. You also actually get a game code. So if you want to kind of build your rig to be able to play Black Ops, buy the board, and you're going to get the game code in the box, so you can go ahead and install it. And like I said, you've got improved audio on here. You've got awesome networking technologies. I think, like I said, the networking one is really cool. It's our new Game First 5, which if you pair it together with one of our routers, which we can actually show you a shot here of one of our upcoming. It hasn't been launched yet. It'll be coming out very soon, but it's a brand new 802.11ax Call of Duty 4 branded router.
Yeah, we can throw to that.
This guy is an absolute monster. It will offer the unquestionably fastest performance on hardline and wireless. It features 160 megahertz support, which is the same new type of wireless chip that we built in this. You can literally have the same speed that essentially you have on gigabit Ethernet wirelessly. Over 1,000 megabits of throughput achieved wirelessly. So whether you're wired or wired, you're going to have an amazing experience. And again, like I said, when these two actually talk to each other, we use a new option in Game First where it'll talk to the router and it'll automatically set this as the priority item for bandwidth so that you can get the best experience possible. Beyond the,
I'm just saying, you're just really intent on removing any excuses I have for not being good at the game.
Yeah, well, I think the main barrier is that, and actually I think a lot of times what we find from networking is people know that there's pain points in networking. They know that there's a lot of devices that they have, and they want to be able to improve the experience, but it can be challenging to figure out exactly how do I make sure that the devices that I want are getting the best experience possible. And so I think what we've tried to do is just make it easy so that if you essentially pair these products together, you can get a more streamlined experience.
And especially in how noisy most households are now.
Yeah.
Like it used to be kind of like you'd have a laptop, maybe a phone.
No, we talk about this all the time.
But now,
on the
you're
show.
talking about comfortably, it could be 20, 30, 40 plus devices, right?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of contention traffic. So there's a lot of really rich options that we'll offer within that. Rounding things out, we will have a Call of Duty 4 graphics card. We'll actually have a really cool gaming desktop. I'm a DIY guy, but at the same time, if you're somebody that's maybe just looking still for that PC class experience, but you want a really kind of a clean, streamlined, high-performance system that looks awesome, but that you can just buy and it'll be ready to rock and roll, we will have this. This will be our Strix GL12 model. It's a really cool looking vibe. If we can maybe get the picture up, you guys will be able to...
I think I've got it up now if you guys want to throw to my screen.
You guys will be able to see it's got a really cool kind of etched side panel to it. Again, it's got the logo vibe to it. It's got a really, really just cool, I think, vibe to it. Not super heavy, right? But it's got, again, that identity. And keep in mind, like all of our products, this is also still maintaining our ASUS Aura Sync technology. So if you pair this up with, the keyboards, the mice, our headsets, you're still going to be able to get everything synchronized. So even though it's not a a DIY system, you still get a lot of those rich kind of controls and features that we're offering. And so if you definitely want to find out more, you can head over to our ROG Call of Duty website. It's got all the different products that are there. But one really cool thing that I'll let you guys know that if you pick up essentially any of this hardware right now, we recently launched a brand new program called ROG Elite Rewards. This is our way to kind of be able to recognize and be able to offer really great incentives to our passionate ASUS and ROG followers. So normally if you go and you register your product, you can actually get in line for being able to win awesome kind of pricing back for buying products.
Nice.
And you get points for every product that you buy, as well as different actions that you might do on the actual community page. And for right now, for all of our Black Ops Duty items, we're giving you more points. So you actually get even more than you would traditionally get when you're picking up this awesome hardware in general. So you guys can definitely find out more. Head over to ROG Elite's Rewards website, and you'll be able to get all the info there.
Cool. So you teased a bunch of stuff today. Do you have any release dates that you can share on?
Yeah, so pretty much, with the Z390 stuff, you're pretty much right now ready to go. We're rocking and rolling, right? The pre-orders have been happening, so the formal launch will be coming up very shortly, so you'll be able to get the motherboard. The peripherals, same thing, are kind of right now in line to be able to be available, so you'll be able to see them popping up on Newegg. Timeline for, I think, some of our desktops that we're going to be having, like I said, like the GL12, be coming a little bit later, hopefully within the next about month or so. Okay. The router as well, probably within about that next 30 to 45 days. But for the most part, we've got, I think, a strong initial block of options that'll be available to users, and then kind of the most comprehensive suite of everything. You'll keep seeing more items coming out.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for showing off all this sweet gear.
Yeah.
We've got some other photos and things, too, that I'm sure viewers are going to want to check out. So definitely be on the lookout for more awesome ASUS and Activision co-branding, because I think it's going to be some really fun stuff.
Yeah.
So before you go, we actually have one of the awesome mystery boxes. Do you want me to get it? I mean, I made you lift it over your head.
I'm a beast.
So there's a really fun photo on Twitter where this box is actually legit heavy. So we made Trisha pick it up and hold it over her head. Now this is straight from Activision. So even more Black Ops 4 gear to check out before the release tomorrow. You can pick this up on Newegg tomorrow when the game comes out. So
it's pretty beastly. Actually, I think looking at the image, it's actually the sarcophagi that you actually have in the zombie mode from the 9 map. So it's pretty insane that like everything is bundled inside that. So it's pretty.
But it's way more fun when you have like an actual crate, not like a digital crate to open.
So I'm looking here, and of course we've got stickers that
I've got some.
do you have
scissors.
scissors?
So
Amazing.
I'll let you take the wheel on that.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
But yeah, let's go ahead and open this puppy up and see what's inside.
Doing it live.
Doing it live. And as Trisha won't bleed all over the set. That's always my concern whenever I'm doing builds on a show, like live builds. I'm like, I'm just going to bleed all over the set. Don't mind me, guys. I feel like that's, at least for me, that's part of the build experience, is just shedding a little bit of blood. But you know what? It makes the end reward so much better.
It's like you literally put your blood,
Your
sweat,
blood,
and tears.
sweat, and probably tears into every build.
Right.
Tears of joy, right? Tears of joy.
Yeah.
Yes, for how beautiful. Oh man, this thing just keeps going. All right, well, I'm gonna pop this open here.
Not tears at all, because you can't get it to post.
Never.
Never.
Okay, so we've got. I'm gonna let you take the poster first.
Check this
It
out.
comes with batteries, so that's always super helpful.
So I
Okay.
think that looks like it's from one of the zombie mats, I think.
Yeah, so I think these are the zombies lithographs, and you get 3 of them: Voyage of Despair, 9, and Blood of the Dead.
Okay, so the only one that's missing is the classified map then.
Oh wow, yeah, this thing's pretty intense. Okay.
Whoa. Let's see what else we got here. A 10th anniversary zombies puzzle. Huh?
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I usually like framing those. Like
It's
kind
a
of once you put them together.
1,000 piece. So
1,000 piece?
So you do a puzzle. Are you a gluer and a framer, JJ?
Let's neither confirm nor deny these reports.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be real careful.
Check
Okay,
that
strike the box.
out.
Grab the box. And we'll turn. Yeah, this thing is pretty beastly. Oh, and they've even got some good like foam
Wow.
spacers in there.
Right,
I think
so
that's
we'll-
actually
This is
like almost like you got to get one of
amazing.
these, and then it's like you put it next to your build, right? And then you know what you could even do? You get like our ROG terminal, which comes with adhesive RGB LED strips, and you put it like on the underside.
Underglow.
Yeah, and you get your whole
Yeah.
underglow vibe,
No,
right?
yeah, we need to open this up. You got it?
Don't look directly at it, Marion.
All right.
I like that. That was
Gorgeous.
This is insane.
There you go.
Black Ops.
The good stuff.
We got
Ooh,
the
I like
You get your
it.
shield.
steel, yeah, you get your steel book.
Oh, they've got
And the
comics.
zombie, or the zombies
yeah,
comics,
we're just gonna get right here.
Ah, see, there you go. Okay, I gotta pick up.
Yeah.
What imprint is it? It's Dark Horse. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool, actually, Dark Horse.
And the whole under cavity too.
The whole thing. Very, very cool.
That's crazy.
Oh, and here,
Nice.
there's some more stuff hidden in here. We've got
Right.
Zombies Heroes Fig Pins.
Oh, those are adorable.
There you go. So yeah, you got Scarlett, Bruno, Diego, and Stanton.
Oh yeah, again from the zombies. That's
Yeah,
cool.
from Zombies.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we got to find
There's
a good
so
place.
much in this box. My God.
We've got to find a good spot to show this off on the set. I'm gonna ask Wes, like, where can we stage
Yeah,
this?
this is
'Cause
super
it's-
cool.
It is a little like the Ark of the Covenant.
But the batteries, man, you got to put the batteries in. There's a reason why there's batteries, so that means it's
Yes,
because
there is a reason why
that's
there's
because
batteries.
things light up.
Here, let's see.
So, yeah.
I might have a screwdriver. Hold on.
Okay.
Vamp.
Yes, let's see if we have a screwdriver. So, not to spoil, but to spoil, the Zombies mystery box, which you guys are seeing right here, inspired, of course, by the in-game Zombies mystery box. It's got, you've seen the skeleton exterior, and I have in my notes that it has frightening sounds and lighting. So get ready to be spooked.
If there's children on
Frighteningly
the children on the
awesome.
stream, should exit.
Frighteningly. Yes, so the Call of Duty Zombies comics are by Dark Horse, and this is volume 1.
Thank you for that, JJ.
Hey, I'm just being considerate.
Any young children watching our stream?
Please shield your eyes.
Partnership with Activision and Treyarch, story by Jason Wendell and Craig Houston.
Okay, so that says it's on. But I
Okay.
don't know what to.
I assume when you open the box would be my guess, but let's see.
Like this is. There you go.
Okay, ready? Here we
Okay,
go.
do it.
Ready?
That's pretty cool.
Ooh.
That is a little freaky. I guess perfect time for Halloween, right? Use this as your Halloween stash, right?
Totally. Open the lid to get your candy,
Yeah,
kids.
Exactly. You know, purposely so the kids can't accidentally eat too much, right? Every time you know that's getting opened up, right? You know how much.
But
they're
also,
eating.
like, don't touch the lid of my Zombies mystery box and ruin it, please.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I get a little bit Mr. President from the Lego movie when it comes to kids touching my toys. Like, these are the grown-up toys.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful piece. This is really, really cool.
That's
what
pretty
a cool
cool.
collector's
Even
item.
Maybe like cut up like inserts in there between like single, duo, and quad, right? So that when you're getting ready to jump out into the game, right, it's like, okay, I'm gonna play singles, am I gonna play duo, I'm gonna play quads.
Yep.
It's that frightening because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well done, Activision.
We've got a show to do.
Well done. Okay, this has been fun.
We have such a messy desk now, and I
I
love
know
it.
this is great. We need to do more like actual practical hands-on unboxings of things like this.
Woo!
So, thank you so much for dropping by again, man. We really appreciate.
Awesome to be
spending
here.
the time.
Thank you guys for checking out the stuff. Like I said, you guys can make sure that I'm sure you guys will have all the links in the description. You can head over to, like I said, your favorite search engine, type in ASUS ROG Call of Duty, and you'll get the product page. Will show you all the awesome hardware that we talked about and a whole lot more.
And I'm really hoping we can have you back on after all of the embargoes and stuff, because
We will keep
That-
it tuned. Actually, you know, we've already just finished filming a whole build video for you guys that want to build an ATX-based system. It's actually this system right here. We gave you guys a whole full
Excellent.
breakdown on actually how to build this and how to do it all. We'll have a mini ITX build coming out too, build video, and overclocking is going to also be
AI.
covered.
I want to talk about that
a lot
AI
of really cool
overclocking
stuff.
again soon. Yeah, definitely.
Let me get this all in
Here,
here.
I'll just hold
it's
it.
so beautiful.
I'll just Vanna White
the
this.
lithographs.
And
Dun, dun, dun,
beautiful.
dun.
Okay.
Awesome. So thank you again, JJ, for coming
Thanks for
on the
having
show. You've been awesome. Before we head out and finish off the show today, let's cover a few more deals that we weren't able to get to in the rest of the show. So we're going to change gears for a sec.
Okay, so you'll want to take a look at the ABS Versa gaming desktop with the 1050 GPU and 8th gen Intel CPU for under $530, and a few different BioStar motherboards you can pick up with some discounts as well.
We also have everything you need to put together your own build. So after seeing what 9th gen can do, I'm sure we're all excited about upgrading, and we've certainly got you covered on Newegg now.
Definitely.
So, cases, we can start off with cases.
Oh, yes.
You can pick up the Corsair Obsidian 500D for under $90 off.
And or the Rosewill Magnetar case for under $30. Really great price point to start a build right there. And also plenty of motherboards to choose from on that Newegg Now page, along with the 8th gen Intel CPU.
Yeah, we've got plenty of options when it comes to RAM too, from Guile, G-Skill, and Ballistics at different prices and capacities. There's also SSDs from great companies like Gigabyte and Team Group, and hard drives from Toshiba if you're looking for extra storage.
Nice. So, and last up, we have a great selection of power supplies from Corsair at a variety of price points, like the 750-watt Corsair HXi series, the HX750i for under $100. Whatever PC parts you're looking for, head on over to newegg.com/newegg-now. You're going to find it. So thank you so much, everyone out there watching. Thanks again to JJ from ASUS coming by again, and to Justin from Activision for getting us this sweet Call of Duty Black Ops 4 loot box. This has been the best loot box experience I think I've ever had.
Yeah, what a cool piece. So join us back here next week when we'll be celebrating 1 year of this show. 1 year of Newegg Now. It has been so great getting to share all of these great guests and games and everything else that we do around here with you guys over this last year. And we've got some exciting stuff planned to celebrate. So make sure that you check it out, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, this has been Newegg Now, and now you know.
Bye.